Hello again, this is Dr. B, and I'm back to tell you more about lithium and specifically why you should be interested in lithium. You definitely should be interested in lithium. There's no doubt about it, okay? Lithium protects your brain. This guy right here, the brain. And I'm going to be going into more detail now in this part of the video. But also, lithium has to do a lot with your feelings and your moods, and it can help you with that too. Then lithium has a lot to do with your back, amazingly, and I'll be talking to you about that later. But right now in this part, what I'm going to be talking to you is about this guy, the brain, your brain, okay? This is, of course, a half cut of your brain. And it has many, many different parts. It is the most complicated machinery in the universe. And everything we do, when we think, when we feel, everything we do with this guy, the brain. So it is very important. You don't have a brain, you're a goner. Forget it. Even if you're alive, you do not really function as a real human being if you don't have this part. You can have other parts miss, but if you don't have this part, you are not there, okay? And we want you to be there. So anyway, I'm just going to do very, very simple thing explanation. And the brain has some, again, this is very simple. The brain stem down here, okay, which is down here. That's where you get your ability to just breathe, your blood pressure. It's called the brain stem, okay? Very important, because if you don't have that, you're dead, okay? The brain stem. Then you have here, we call the midbrain, the middle part, okay? And the middle part of the brain is very important because everything that comes from your body or from the outside of you goes through the midbrain and gets processed there. So it's a very, very important part of the brain. It is also in this area where feelings and emotions are put together. Let's put it that way, okay? So it is a very, very important part of the brain. This middle part, okay? Okay. Now, this whole part out here is what makes us human, sort of. I'm simplifying, but it's the cerebral cortex. And that's where we have abstract ideas, language, a lot of other things that enable us to think. There would not be a camera in front of me. There would not be light around me. We would not have even, the type of thoughts that we have, like what is lithium? But other important thoughts, like what is God? But anyway, I wanted to give you a very, very brief overview. Now, the important thing that I want to tell you about lithium is that lithium protects this guy. It has been found during the last 40 years. Amazing. I did not know anything about it. I was not told anything about this in medical school. I was not told anything about this in residency training. I did not read anything about this in any medical journal. It's not out there. Why? I don't know. But it should be out there. And it's got to be out there. And soon. Why? Because during the last 40 years, this little powder, this little rock, okay, has been found to have amazing properties, okay? And it has already been investigated around the world. And it is in the process of being investigated more, and it needs to be investigated more. But the bottom line, the most important thing is, lithium protects your brain. How does it do that? It has been shown that lithium not only protects the cells in your brain from dying, it actually makes new cells grow in your brain within a very short time of taking small amounts of lithium. Parts of your brain that have to do with memory, with mental functioning, start growing. And they've actually measured that with MRIs and done a lot of other tests. It is very complicated, so I'm just going to stick to the basics, okay? Your brain grows on lithium, and it is protected by lithium, okay? So this is probably the most important thing, I've got to tell you. This is incredible news. When I read it, I said I was flabbergasted. I was saying, how could this be? How could nobody tell me about this? There's a lot more, but the basic news is that, okay? So right now, we are at the edge of a new age, okay? Lithium is starting to be used for the prevention of dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, and other neurodegenerative disorders. It is still not wide known, and there are other reasons for that, but that is what is there. And I have started to use small amounts of lithium for people with early stages of dementia, and I have had good and fast results. That doesn't mean that I am doing a study. I am just applying what I've learned through the literature available, and because of different factors that I'll explain later, to my patients when they're coming in, and my friends and my neighbors, because they needed it, okay? So I tried, and guess what? They got better, amazingly. And you know how? I don't know if I told this before, but this costs 3 cents. 3 cents a pill. Amazing. This is the most inexpensive, spectacular medicine I've ever come across in my life. So the protection that it gives to your brain is invaluable, and it can help you, again, control a lot of other things, There are a lot of other things to do, but I want to take the most important so you realize how important it just is, okay? There's a lot of people who don't need to be having such severe problems with their dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and so on. And, with little amounts, very small amounts of lithium, it can happen. So I want to leave it there. There's a lot more, believe me, a lot more. But I just want to get your interest. I want you to understand and tell your friends and family members and everything that there's a new knowledge out there. I'll be telling you where you can go in the internet. You have to know where to go, okay? It's very important for me to point this out. You want to use 3 letters when you go into the internet to find out about anything in medicine, and it's called NIH, National Institutes of Health. It's the biggest medical center of investigation in the world, and it is connected to all the other centers of investigation in the world. And there you can rely on what you read there. It's a little complicated, but if you don't put those 3 words there, everybody's putting misinformation. They just want to make money out of you. And they want to steer you away from what I'm telling you. You will find completely different story if you don't put NIH down. And if you're not careful of where you read. And maybe later we'll go over that. But for now, remember, your brain, this guy, let's keep it healthy. Let's keep it good. Think about lithium. I'll be seeing you next. And God be with you, and see you later, alligator. In a while, crocodile.